Hello, welcome back. This is Grillenheimer, Transformer TCG friends, family, and followers. Some more cards to go over and reveal. This is exciting. Just a ton of stuff. Pretty much continuing the Overlord Cannon set for what it's worth because of this little symbol down here. And yeah, I do print out other people's stuff. I think this is Bayformer's Relentless Pursuit. I think they have this worded as a little tricky for me to understand, but look at each face down enemy secret action. You may do 1 damage to one of your wreckers. If you do 2 damage to each enemy with this highest number of stars on your opponent's team. Okay, I get it now. I just had to read it out loud. Okay, let's just keep going. So let's start with Gambling Chip. Gambling Chip is a secret action. It is a hybrid, white and blue. Reveal when one of your characters defends. When revealed, and this is an image from Beast Wars. When Transmetal Megatron from Code of Hero decided to whip out a contained anthropoid, early human. What of the early humans? Yes. So, and it's like, was it there the whole time? You know, how did Dinobot not see it? You know, one of those funny little things, because despite how serious that episode was, that was a little detail that I noticed. I'm like, okay, where'd that come from, you know? But it's called Gambling Chip. I almost made it a faction card, but it is not. When one of your characters defends, when revealed, when your attacker is an Autobot or Maximal, reduce the total attack damage by 2. So they get your opponent gets a big swing of attack of 10. You can take 2 off. If their total pierce was 4 and you blocked and they're going to have to hit you by 4, well, take 2 off. Gambling Chip. So, and you can still be like Autobot versus Autobot, Maximal versus Maximal. This only depends on who your attacker is, who you're defending against. So that's Gambling Chip. Let's keep going from the bottom. Energon Slicer. This is from Cyberverse. I saw this and I thought that's really cool. It reminded me of, I was a avid PSO fan, Phantasy Star Online from the Dreamcast and Xbox and GameCube days. And I think I still have a copy of each. Well, I don't have it on the GameCube because it was too hard to find and it was too expensive, and I just gave up. Maybe I do have it on. I can't remember. But this is a blue Pip Weapon with only +1 to attack. But this is kind of neat. I don't know. Let's just get some characters out here for the fun of it, since, well, they're here. Let's see here. Let's do Turbo Board. Say they're wanting to get Turbo Board knocked out first, and they attack. Well, you have Energon Slicer, and I don't know. Let's say we have Thrust, and this is on Thrust. Wow, it's already a nice base of 6, isn't it? When the upgraded character attacks an enemy of a different faction, Decepticon to Autobot, do 1 damage to 2 other enemy characters, and then put this back in your hand. So it's really a very low attack card, but it's only going to give you +1. This is not a fusion bore with 3 attack and 3 pierce or anything nuts like that, or a soldier's blaster where if you're attacking another faction, it's going to give you +2 a +3 to attack instead of +1. Instead, you're actually able to go attack 1 and 1 on here. So, and then in the effect, once this attacks and hits these 2 for non-damage, this comes back into your hand. Yeah. Plus, that is a green Pip. Excuse me. You can get this. It's not blue. That's a green Pip. Um, yeah, green. And so you can get this on the flip. You play it. You attack. It goes back into your hand. The only way that this might not get in your hand, and especially this is a good card for it's a weapon. So if you have that card where if this card gets scrap a weapon from your hand, that could happen. So you have something better on the actual character, or even if you're attacking, they have I don't know, a sabotage armaments that gets triggered, this comes off, that gets scrapped. It can still get scrapped. There's ways it can happen, but otherwise, if you attack, it goes back into your hand. It's a very low effect card. I think this is, no, it's not common. I made it an uncommon. So there's that, a neat green Pip, low attack weapon. Let me get these guys out of the way. Spiffy little Gizmo, another hybrid Pip color, white and orange. This is really hard to see here, but on the digital image, it looks much better. And you can see Black Arachne over here. It's near the very end of season 1. They use this to open up a small hole into the Axelon's shield, force field or whatever, and they are able to go in. So I was really wanting to use this to do something against armors or like a force field, which is a armor utility. Armor upgrade, excuse me. I'm going really fast. So you can get you got the bold, and you have an ability. So I really think hybrid Pip colors sort of need to be a little busy. There needs to be a little something going on, something simple, something neat. So you can get this. If this can give you, white Pip, flip 2 more, might help with your defense on flipping for defense. Orange Pip for attacking. Bold 1, it's a utility with bold 1 and +1 to defense. So it's very simple and it's very spiffy. But originally I thought this would be a neat for specialists. And then I got to thinking, the 2 Black Arachnias I made do not have specialist abilities. They have melee, and one side might even be have a ranged trait on it. So instead, I put, when you put this on a character without the specialist trait, scrap an enemy armor. So when Crankcase doesn't get enough love. When you put this on a character that's melee or ranged, or someone without the specialist, scrap an enemy armor, attack, and go in them. We have other cards that do something similar, but I thought this was a neat way to do it as well. Especially to get the hybrid use out of this instead of some of the stronger cards that Wizards sort of made. So there's that. Peace Treaty is a star card secret action. Trying to video record this before. This is not blue. It is green. It is a black and green secret action 1-star Pip card. Reveal when one of your characters defends. When revealed, reduce your attacker's total damage by 4. Yeah. And then it's just got the verbiage for 25 stars. But so I thought this is really nice. It might be too strong, but it's a 1-star Pip card that if you have if you're going by 25 stars, you have 24 stars on your characters. This would be a neat one to have to mix in with your other secret actions. You can get it on the flip, and you can reduce your total damage by 4. But it's going to take a star to do it. So that's Peace Treaty, and that is from Cyberverse also. And I find it funny they got the 3 fingers and the thumb here for Prime and Megatron when they did that in the show. Kind of funny. Re-entry, double black Pip card, secret action, but only about 96% of your characters are not even going to get that. Only how many official spaceships do we have? 4, 3, a Soundwave, 2 Shockwaves, Alpha Trion, maybe somebody else, and and my Spetabots when I finally really finalize them and recolor them, which I want to do. They still don't look bad. They're all still right there in the Dropbox if you want to use that. So only those guys are going to get, only spaceship teams are going to get the double black on the flip here. Otherwise, it is just a simple black Pip card. When one of your characters defends. Now, again, this is just like I mentioned with Gambling Chip, which this is similar to Gambling Chip, or even Spiffy Little Gizmo to some extent, or the Peace Treaty. Well, no, this is taking off upgrades. If your attack damage was all pierce damage, scrap one of your attacker's upgrades. So it is kind of a weak card. This probably could have been a common card, but since it's got two same color pips, I don't think it needs a star, because almost everybody's only going to get the one black pip off of this. And you're only going to be able to scrap only one upgrade if your attacker even has an upgrade when they attack you. So there is that. Very simple card. More for me, I think we've gone over this one before. Move 2 decounters from your opponent's upgrades to one of your upgrades. So, of course, it's got to be an upgrade. I forgot to put a decounter upgrade, but to one of your upgrades. Of course, it'll be something that can take the decounters on them. It's a simple blue action card. I love the image. It's a little dark. Maybe I should have lightened that up some. From Transformers Prime, and Starscream has got all these Energon cubes stacked up. That was hilarious. That was a great show. If you haven't seen that, try. You can kind of see it for free online if you look for it. It's not that hard. I did make this a common card because you're not scrapping anything. You're not getting much out of this, but you are building up your decounter upgrades. Speaking of Starscream Saber, since he has this in kind of a defensive stance, and I really couldn't get into this Starscream. I had his figure. I might still have his figure. I don't know. And this also is a blue Pip Weapon. Oddly enough, because of his stance, I didn't give this any attack, but it's a weapon with +1 to defense. It gives anybody Pierce 2. But Grillenheimer, why is it a Decepticon card? Faction rules, duh. Yeah, I know. So when this is on Starscream, he has bold 2. Bold 2. So there's that. So that's why it's a faction. Decepticon faction, because I mentioned Starscream on here, which I thought was a neat way to do that. And it's not a sword, it's a saber. So thus Pierce, kind of like a light saber. I don't know. Cauterize those bots. Something simple. Kind of thinking along the lines of the agility of Bumblebee, even though that's a utility that I think he can either play an extra action or draw a card when he attacks. So, anyone can wear this. They will get the Pierce 2 and +1 in defense, but only Starscream can get the bold. Maximal Probe is very similar to Paralyzo Box, which is also white and green, but this is white and green with melee. So only your melee characters can get this off the flip in battle. When the upgraded, and I think I have a typo in here, but when the upgraded character attacks, choose a battle icon color. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it has a battle icon of the chosen color, the upgraded character, it's got to be upgraded. The upgraded character gets bold 3 until end of battle. So instead of, I think, the Paralyzo Box, your opponent has to reveal a card, and when they're attacking you and you're defending and you get tough 3, I think. But this is sort of just the opposite. So you're revealing one of your cards to be able to get bold 3, and you choose the color. So it's very similar, but only melee characters can get this on the... Maybe I should have made this specialist. I made Maximal Probe. This whole idea goes way back to my phone days before I downloaded the MSC. The Nice Blaster... Oh, it's very nice indeed. Is a blue Pip weapon card with only +1 to attack. Put on Autobots only. This is the one I got to fix. I got too much space down here. So we on Autobots only, +1 to attack. While this is on RC, she has bold too. So kind of like Starscream Saber, when they're on their respective characters, they get bold too. When the equipped character attacks a Decepticon, it has +2 to attack. So it's kind of like a Soldier's Blaster with a little kick or bonus for RC. I did make it a rare for that, but that's pretty much it. But another nice, nice blue weapon to go in the batch. I think we've already gone over Cortical Psychic Patch. When one of your characters defends, put 2 decounters on any upgrade, which is basically the orange Pip version of Counter Plan, which is the blue Pip version for the blue side of the meta for my decounter upgrades. But I did add the Autobot symbol here on the Pierce. So it's a nice orange Pip, orange black Pip card for Autobots. But you can still get decounters off of this anyway on the defense side. So there is that, and you don't have to scrap the upgrade. So that's a plus too. But the control plan, I think, which is really help you load up the phase shifter. Then you have to scrap it. That's how I made it. Spark Extractor, orange Pip, +1 to attack. Upgrade utility, bold 1. So, pretty simple card. I made this a common. Maybe this needs to be probably a little stronger than a common. When the upgraded character defends, move a damage counter from an enemy character to the attacker. So, Crankcase and Crankcase. A couple of Crankcases here. Say we have these two guys. You're being attacked by Sideswipe. The Spark Extractor is on your, I don't know, your Caliburst. Maybe they're attacking Caliburst for whatever reason. Which I've always liked Caliburst. And they're attacking him. Well, if Crankcase has damage on him, you can put the damage on Sideswipe. When this character defends, so that would happen before the flip, technically. From an enemy character to the attacker. So if they don't have any damage on any other characters, that part won't work. Then it's pretty much a utility that's not really going to help you on the defense, only if they have damage on another attacker that you can move. Since it's moving damage, something like Take Cover or Insulated Compound is not going to help. Maybe I need to fix that. That's for sure. I think somebody has come up with something like that to help counter moving damage. I can't remember what it is. Okay, Rock on a Stick. Rock on a Stick has gone through some changes. This was originally Warrior Steel. Or Warrior Steel. I didn't like the name of it for a weapon. And I'll lighten this up since it looks a little better. 4K, etc., etc. Again, another blue weapon. Low attack, +1. Very similar to RC's nice blaster back here. Which I need to take out some of that space right there as well. So the Rock on a Stick is very similar, but you can only put it on Maximals and Autobots only. Which again, the nice blaster you can only put on Autobots. So the only thing with this is when the equipped character has 3 health, 3 or less health, it gets +2 to attack. Well, I thought that's just too much like a Soldier's Blaster in a way, except Soldier's Blaster is depending on faction when you're attacking. So I've added, and I think the Arc has a similar card, but I think you get more attack. I think when you get down to like less than 5 health or something, or 5 or 3, your the attack goes from like 1 or 0 to 4 or something crazy, and then you scrap it. This one isn't going to get scrapped. 2, it is a blue weapon. And then 3, as long as it has 3 or less health, you're going to get +2 to attack and 2 pierce. So it's not quite as strong as a fusion borer. Okay. But you're going to get you'll get 3 to attack and pierce 2, but you're going to have to be 3 health or less. And then the next hit, they're probably KO'd anyway. Overload Lord Cannon, we've already gone over that, but I was just wanting to bring back Ultimate Power, which I think originally did on my phone years ago. Good grief. Yeah. Probably 2020. And so it is a blank Pip card. It still is a star card with +3 to attack, +3 to defense. It gets to stay on the character because I made it a star. But I've changed one thing. Put on Decepticons only. So now it's got the faction on here. So it's similar to the Overlord Cannon. Not exactly the same as the Magnus armor, but it is a 1-star that gets to stay on a Decepticon. It is a weapon armor, so it can get rammed, vaporized, whatever, or even oh goodness, or even if you use something like re-entry, etc., to be able to scrap their weapon, or sabotage ornaments. Things happen. You can get, it's more of an upgrade war at the same time as we're trying to knock each other's characters out. Termination Sequence is the last one I want to go over super quick, and I have gone 20 minutes. Darn. This starts with 9 termination counters on it. So you're probably going to want a 20-sided die, or do we have, I think a 12? I mean, this is 10, a 20. This is a D20. But I think we have 12-sided dice. But anyway, it starts with 9 counters on it. At the start of each player's turn, at the start of turn, boop, take off 1 termination counter. When you take off the last termination counter, KO an untapped enemy with the least health on the battlefield. So that's 2 triggers. If it happens at the top of your turn, this comes off and you go down from 1 to 0. They're all tapped out. This doesn't work. Doesn't work. But if we just got finished with the untap phase, and you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're 3-on-3, they could have 2 characters untapped. Which one ever has the lowest amount of health would get KO'd. Do we need to do something to where the attack doesn't happen? Maybe. Of course, you can't start it over again. I need to put on here, then flip this card, and this can only be the only stratagem in play. Originally, I had this as a battlefield card. If you remember, called Light at the End of the Tunnel or something, and Tigertron was looking up in the distance with the light coming down in Beast Wars in that scene. So this might be too dangerous. And if you even notice on the little sub function, I got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 KO. So like I said, there in some scenarios, it might not work. It might not happen. They may not have anybody untapped. So when you get set up, they have so many characters. You have so many characters. You could be 1-1. Are you going to go through 9 turns or more with Fort Max and Metroplex? I don't know, but both of them are eventually going to have characters deployed. If one of those characters has the least amount of health, they're going to get KO'd, not Metroplex or Fort Max. Okay? Things to think about. After 9 turns, where are you in the game? Could somebody almost be about to get wiped out anyway? Then that would wipe them out. etc., etc. This might, it is a star. It is a rare stratagem. It is a part of my Overlord canon idea and set here. Is this too much? Does this need to be reworded? Let me know. We'll see you next time. We went over a lot of stuff. Termination Sequence, Ultimate Power, Rock on a Stick, then Ice Blaster, Spark Extractor, Cortical Psychic Patch, Starscream Saber, Maximal Probe, More For Me, Reentry, Peace Treaty, Spiffy Little Gizmo, Energon Slicer, which I really like, and Gambling Chip, even though it's not a very strong weapon card. But you're getting 2 possible non-attack damage on 2 of their other characters when that happens. I kind of like that. And then it comes back into your hand. Unless they have something else sneaky with a secret action that it actually gets that scrapped. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. We'll see you next time. And as always, have a great day and a blessed day. Throw some scraplets at the like button if you like this content. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll.